G'day, this is Christine from Gecko Gully Websites. A lot of you are using MailChimp for your mailing lists, both the people for my own clients. I've got people who are using CubeCard who are now on MailChimp, and I've got people who are using WordPress who are now on MailChimp. And one of the questions that I've been asked quite often is, well, how do I actually send out a newsletter? How do I set up a template so that my newsletter looks nice, and how do I go about sending out a newsletter? Now, there's three concepts that you need to understand in MailChimp. First of all, there's the concept of the list. Now, a list is a group of people. That's simple. You can have a list of the people who subscribed on your website. You can have a list that you might have imported from somewhere else. You can have a list of the people who opted in when they went to a show, a trade show or something like that. So you can have multiple lists of people in your MailChimp account. A template is the second concept I want to explain to you, and a template is basically a layout or a look for your newsletter that you're going to send out. So if you want to have an analogy, a template might be like you go down to the stationery shop and you buy some nice writing paper, and whenever you write a letter, it's going to have, red roses in the top right corner or whatever it is that the writing paper has on it. Okay, so it's like a pre-formatted thing that you're going to be using for sending out your newsletters, and it's going to have your corporate look about it. Okay, another analogy might be if you're using letterhead paper for a business. Okay. The third concept to explain to you is a campaign. Now, a campaign is when you you fill in the content onto a template and you send it to your list. So a campaign is the act of actually sending information out. Most of you have the free MailChimp account, and with a free MailChimp account you can create a campaign pretty much whenever you want to. There are limits, like 12,000 emails per month and stuff like that, but you can create a campaign whenever you want to, and you can send it out immediately. If you have the paid version of MailChimp, you can actually set up a campaign which is called an autoresponder. So that means that, for example, as soon as somebody joins your list, they will be sent a message. And then they might be sent another message 2 days later, that sort of thing. That's called an autoresponder, and it's an automated campaign. But for this video, I want to show you how to set up a template. Okay, so what I've been asked to do is I've been asked to set up a template for this business, which is called Cool Cat Quilting. So just to give you some idea of what their corporate look is, this is what their website looks like. So I've logged into their MailChimp account. Now they've got a list down here which has quite a few subscribers on it, but they don't have any campaigns and they don't currently have any templates. So I've gone to the campaigns tab. I've clicked on this. So when we get to this part, there's two things we can do. Is we can either go to My Templates and create a template through that, or we can go to Create a Campaign. Now, there's one little thing which I'm going to show you when we get a little bit further down the track that doesn't happen when we go to My Templates. Normally what we should be able to do is go to My Templates and then set up a template within there. But the other way to do it is just to go ahead and start creating a campaign, and it will ask you during that process, do you want to create a template? And it will give you this extra option in there. So let's just go to Create a Campaign. I'll show you in a minute what that extra option is. It's a little bit boring to explain it to you right now. So let's just go for a regular old campaign. You can also go with a plain text campaign. So if you don't want to send out any formatting or any images or anything like that, you can do that using a plain text campaign. You can also do things called an A/B split campaign, which means that you can send one layout to one group of people and another layout to another group of people, and so forth. And then the third thing you can do is an RSS driven campaign, which basically means that you can pick up an RSS feed from a website and have it send out the campaign for you. An example of where I use that is on one of my websites, which is a WordPress website. Whenever I do a post to that WordPress blog, I have it set up so that it will send that post out immediately to all the people on my mailing list, and it does that via the RSS feed. But let's go back to regular role campaign, and we'll click select. Now at this point we can say, are we going to be sending this out to our entire list? Are we going to be sending it out to only part of the list? And by the way, you can have more than one list here, so you need to choose which list. We've only got one list in this case. Or we can send it to a new segment. So for example, if you decided that you only wanted to send this to people who have a certain attribute, like you might have collected the location where these people are. So you might say, well, I only want to send it to the people who are in a particular state, for example. That's where you can do this. You can either have a saved segment that you saved earlier or a new segment that you're about to create. But that's more related to lists than this, so let's just send it to the entire list. So we go next. Then we need to give it a name. Now this is just going to be me mucking around, so I'm just going to call it Christine Testing, but this is only for your own internal use. Okay, so if you wanted to say May the 4th or whatever, you know, campaign, then that's, you can put that in there. Now the email subject is what's going to go up as the subject line for your email. So you can have you can click on these to get some advice, but let's just use this really simple, say, and we're just going to say news from Cool Cat Quilting. Okay, the from name and the from address goes in there. So let's just click on, there's some other options down here where we can say what we want to track. So what do we want reports back about? Social media, we can say, you know, do we want to auto tweet and so forth. And then there's more options down here. We can authenticate and that sort of stuff. So, but you can have a click on the little info tabs, will give you you know, information. The authenticate thing is going to basically clean out your mailing list as you're going along. So if you send out an email and a whole lot of them bounce, then if you've got this ticked, it's going to remove those email addresses from your mailing list, and so you won't be sending to them next time. Now the reason why that's important is because the free version of MailChimp has a limit of 2,000 subscribers. So like in the case of this particular list, they've got about 1,500 on their list at the moment, and let's say if 100 of them were invalid email addresses, then this will clean those out. So it's going to help you to keep under those limits. Okay, so we can go next. So if you don't want it to do that, you just untick that authenticate campaign thing. Now here's something that we wouldn't have got access to if we had gone for that template option. With the template option, we would have had access to classic templates and pre-designed templates. Okay, here we can see the ones we've already done before. We can code your own if you're really good at this, but I figure if you're really good at this, you're probably not watching this video, or you can import them from elsewhere. So if you've been using another system and you want to copy your template from that other system onto this one, that's where you'll be doing this. Now, I personally don't have any experience with that, so I'm not going to try and explain that to you. So, you know, you can have a play with that and see whether you can get that going. Now, what we're going to be using is the classic templates, but before we do that, I want to show you the pre-designed. Now, I'm not going to, you would click on that, but I'm not going to click on that right now because it takes a long time to load. So I've actually got that loaded in another tab on my browser. You can see that there are lots and lots and lots of templates here. Some of them are Christmas related, some of them are you know, there's a shooting star one there, there's a one related to a bar, there's a whole lot of them related to specific sports. If you want to use one of these templates, what you would do is click on that and then you would edit it. There's quite a few that are for coupons, so if you just want to send out a little thing which has got a coupon code on it, that's wonderful. Now you're going to be able to change the colors, you're going to be able to change the banners, there's going to be a lot of things that you can change. The basic layout you won't be able to change. So for example, if you chose this one, you're going to have a wide column and a narrow column and then a couple of bits at the bottom. So you know, if you want to choose one of these, that's great. It'd be a good place to start if you're really not sure what you want your website, sorry, if you want your newsletter to look like. But let's go back to this other tab and we can either go to classic templates, which I'm just going to do in a minute, or we can go to email designer. Now If you want to use Email Designer, that's great. If you know what you want your website to look like, and the classic sorry, I keep saying website. Sorry. If you know what you want your newsletter to look like, and you want to do some nice dragging and dropping, then you can do that. Now in this case, I'm not going to use that. I'm going to use one of the classic templates because I want to show you examples in the the fastest way possible to get your newsletter up. So we'll go classic templates, and it's going to ask us to pick a template to start with. Now this is some fairly classic layouts for a newsletter. So we can scroll down here and we can see that there are lots and lots of layouts. Now I'm going to choose one of these for Coolcat. The ones that have the little mobile phone next to them, those are ones that are really good for if you're expecting to be able to have to send this out to a lot of people who are going to be reading it on their mobile phone, or their cell phone. Where's one that I think they might like? It's a bit difficult to do the designing for somebody else, but I'll click here. At least by making this video I can send this to the client and they can say, well, I didn't like that, and then they can make their own. So we'll click on that one. Okay, so now that this is loaded, we can see that there's quite a few things that we can change. At the top, if I just start from the top and go down and explain the page to you, we've got page, header, body, sidebar, columns, footer, and monkey rewards. Don't worry about monkey rewards. That's just a way of getting you to publicize MailChimp. If you want to go into that, click on that and see what that is. So these are the different areas, broadly speaking, of the newsletter. Within that, so within page, we've got background color, we've got email border, and so forth. So there's things that we can change within header, we can change different things within body, we can change different things. So if we scroll down, I'll just show you what the different areas are. Up here, actually that's body, you can see that it's got the red around it. That when you click on body style, it puts a red box around it so you know what it is you're going to be customizing. So if I click on header, you can see it puts a red box around that bit so that we know that we're going to be customizing that bit next. So we've got a header. Within the header, for this particular layout, and it might be different for different layouts, for this particular layout we've got, I don't know whether you're going to be able to read this on the video, but it says use this area to offer a short teaser of your email's content. Text here will show in the preview area of some email clients. So we can click on edit to change that text, because obviously you won't leave that there. Then we've got a thing over here that says, is this email not displaying correctly? And then there's a link that says view it in your browser. Personally, I just leave that as it is, so that you can have the customer click on that and view it. In here we've got where we're going to put our banner. Okay, now we scroll down a bit. We've got some links here for social media. We've got a place where we can put lots of text. We can put an image over here. We've got some more headings, we've got more images, more headings, and more text. Down here we've got some links, which is follow on Twitter, friend on Facebook, and forward to a friend, so we can change those links. Down here we've got the copyright area, which is sort of like a footer. I think that's called the footer. But in here we've got what we call tags, which I'll go over in a minute, but basically it's information that you want to put at the bottom. This is the monkey rewards thing, which we're not going to use, so I'll be turning that off in a minute. And then down here we've got the links for unsubscribing from the list and update the subscription preferences. You should leave those there because those are set up automatically by MailChimp, and they work. So you don't need to worry, like if you're one of the CubeCart users, you would have in the past had to paste that unsubscribed link in there, but MailChimp will do that for you. So let's go back up and see what we want to change this to. So I'm going to start with the page, and I'm going to start with the background color, and when I click on here it does something really cool. It actually goes along here and it gives me the colors that are being used on my website, or in this case the Coolcat Quilting website. So when we go back here you can see that we've got these different colors on it. Now this is one of the things which was the other thing which is not on the build a template link. Remember at the beginning I told you we can either click on the templates link or the campaigns link, and this is one of the things that we don't get access to. We don't get So I'm going to click out of that box and click into again. We don't get the your site colors coming up. So this is really cool, so I'm going to use this. Now this is the pink which is on the outside of their website. So just wait for the wheels to stop spinning. So I'm going to put that pink in there. Now next they have a green, which seems to be used quite a lot. So I'm going to use the green for the background in here. So I'll go to the header and the pre-header. This is the pre-header here. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to use that green in there. Wait for it to load. Okay. Now here I'm going to click edit, and I'm actually going to, and it brings this up so you can see, and it's really small text, so that's the size that it's going to display on the newsletter. But we can use this editor. I'm not going to go through a huge description of how to use this editor. You're probably quite familiar with using these type of buttons at the top, but basically I don't want this to appear, so I'm going to just highlight the whole lot and delete it. And I'm going to click save, wait for it to reload, and then that's gone. Okay, and it still says email not displaying correctly, view it in your browser, so I'm going to leave that there. Now I'll scroll down a bit more. Now I'm going to edit this area. So what it's telling me when I move my mouse over it is that it needs to be 600 pixels wide, and it can be any height. Now I would like to put that in there. So what I'm going to do, I'm using Firefox browser, and it might be a little bit different on your browser, but I'm going to click right click, and I'm just going to say view background image, and it's going to give me that. And I'm going to go right click, and I just want to view the image info because I want to see how big that is. I'll just drag this over so you can see it. Sorry, I've got two screens and I often forget that you can only see my right hand screen. But you can see here that this is 800 pixels wide by 380 pixels high. So that is actually too wide to fit in the box on my newsletter. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click, and I'm going to say save image as, and I'm going to save it on my computer under cats.gif, which I've already saved it. Okay. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go away and use some editing software so that I can make a 600 pixel wide version of that. Now this is well outside the scope of showing you this on this video. Everybody's got a different kind of editing software. If you don't have any any image editing software, so you have no idea how to do this, then get back to me and I'll make another video showing you how to do that. So I'm just going to pause the video while I make a 600 pixel wide version of that image. Okay, I'm back. So I've made a 600 pixel wide version of that image. I'm going to go back to my thing here. I'm going to go change. It's going to ask me to upload. Now I can drag it in, but let's just do browse. The one I did was called Cat 600. So I'm going to open that, upload that. Okay, so that's it there. Now if you want to link to a URL, so link to your website, when somebody clicks on that, then you can put that in there. So I'm going to actually link to their website there, so I've just copied that and I'm going to paste it in here. You use Control-C to copy and Control-V to paste. What that means is, if you're on a PC, you hold down the CTRL button or the control button on your keyboard and you tap the C button for copy, or you do CTRL button and then the V for Victor button to paste. If you're on a PC, I believe it's Command instead of Control. So, and we might as well have that opening in a new window. So we go save and insert image. Just wait it for a reload. Okay, so there we've got that in there. Now just scroll down a bit more. So we've got that, but at the top we've got that heading starting to take shape. Now here is our body, and we want to change this background. So the background, I might use the green. Wait for it to reload. Okay. Scroll. Oh, okay, it's changed the background there. That's okay, we can handle that. What I might do is I'll change that. I'd like that to be white because I prefer, because it's going to be easier to read then. Okay, so what I want to change is this part here, so just let me work out how to do that. Body style, maybe this is it. No? Okay, don't know, sorry. Okay, so let's just leave it at that. I thought perhaps I can make all these bits green and then make this bit white, but it looks like I can't. Okay, so let's go to here. Now I'm at a point now where a lot of this stuff I can save as a template, and then I can simply change all these things later. Now I don't know whether this particular person has got a Facebook page or a Twitter. I'm pretty sure they don't have Twitter, so let's just change this. So I'll get rid of this. I'm just deleting, saving. Okay, I'm not sure how to get rid of this Twitter link thing here. Let me just see if I can work that out. Okay, so probably the best thing to do at this point would be, okay, if you don't have a Twitter account, don't use this template. Sorry about that. I'm not sure how you get rid of these things. You can obviously edit this so that you can put in your link to Facebook on there. You can edit this to put in your link to Twitter. So you know, if you don't have Facebook or Twitter or this particular, or if you don't want to forward this allow these people to forward the email to a friend, then don't use this template. Okay. Now here we've got an area that you're probably going to want to change every time you do a newsletter. So at this stage, I'm going to leave that there, and I'm going to let the people who are actually going to be using this change that each time they want to do it. And then here there's an image, and that's probably going to be something like a featured product, and they're going to have some text about that. The same here, there's going to be another featured product, and some more text about those down there. Now down here we've got the same thing with the Twitter, Facebook, and forwarding information. Now here I want to get rid of this monkey rewards thing, so I'm going to highlight all that, delete, save, and that should disappear once it refreshes. Okay, now down this part here, let's go edit. What you'll see in here, this might be difficult to see because the video will be small by the time you see it. It says copyright, and then it's got current year, list.company, all rights reserved, and then it's got the mailing address. Now personally, I would leave that exactly as it is. What this does is we've got an asterisk and then a vertical line, like a vertical line like this, and then current underscore year. And what this does is it actually brings in what they call tags. Now, an example, if I wanted to add a tag, let me say if I can go to merge tags here. So I could, if I wanted to, put in the first name. I can put in the last name. I can put in information about the list. I can put in, these are the list links. Okay, so I can put in all sorts of different tags in there, and you can actually put that into any part of your newsletter, so not just in this footer area. But this footer area is where you say, okay, this is how you, this is my details, and this stuff is already set up for you. So let's just exit out of that without making any changes. So give you a better example, if you wanted to put in here, I want to edit this, we want to put in here, hi, and then we want to put their first name, okay, and then we want to put a space, and want to put their last name. It's going to say, hi, Christine Abala, or whatever the person that you're sending it to is, assuming that you have that information on your list, like you've imported it from somewhere else. So if you want to put that in there, that's how you can do that. So I'm not going to save that. I'm just going to exit out of that without saving it. So at this stage, it's pretty much done. There's not really much more that I can do as far as setting up a template is concerned. I'm actually going to use a different, actually, what is this? Let me just see what this little eye thing does. hide this section. Okay, so I'm hoping that that's hidden. Let's do a bit of a test and find out. So when you've made the changes that you want to change, you can click on Save to My Templates and you can save it. Okay, so let's go here and we're going to name it Christine Testing Template. Save. Okay, and then we'll say it says the template's been saved, so we'll return to campaign, and I'm going to go next. So this is assuming we don't just want to go in here and set up a template and then get out of it again. We actually want to do this. Now, why has it done this? This text part was automatically generated from your HTML content. Okay, so what this is, some people can't accept the HTML version of your newsletter. Some people are going to be sent a plain text version because they don't want to get all the images and things coming in there. So what we've got here is it's set up an automated version of the HTML version. So let's go copy text from HTML email so that it will copy over whatever we had in that HTML version. So if we've made changes to the HTML version, then it will copy that in. So let's go next. Most of your customers will be able to read the HTML one. Now we're all set to send. Now I don't want to send this yet because I don't want to send that junk out to the cool cat people. There's just over 1,000 of them, so they're not going to be real happy about it. But what I can do, I don't want. So in other words, I'm not clicking the send button. I don't want to click on schedule so that it goes out later. I just want to at this stage send a test. So I'm going to go to preview and test. And so one thing I can do is I can say open pop-up preview. So I've got this one here. Just wait for this to load. It's going to show me what it's going to look like. So this is what my thing's going to look like. Actually, that's interesting because we've got this. See, remember I clicked on the hide thing, and so all I've got left is the forward to a friend. So that's not too bad. There you go. I've learned something today too. So that's how you can actually hide stuff, that little eye thing. So I probably could have used that here, that thing that I deleted up here. I probably could have done that using the little eye thing instead of actually deleting the text. Then I'll go down here and I can see at the bottom here it says copyright Cool Cat Quilting, all rights reserved. You're receiving this email because you opted in at our website and so forth, and it's actually filled in their mailing address. So this is really cool because you can see what it will look like when somebody gets it. Okay, so if you're happy with that, we can close that. The other thing I can do is I can go down here and I can send a test email. So that is actually going to send me an email of this as a test. Okay, so and then I can just look in my inbox and see what it's going to look like. I really strongly recommend you do that because then you'll be able to just check that it does look how you want it to look when you're actually looking at it in an email. Now, so that means that once I've done this, I'm then ready to click send, but of course I don't want to do that. So let's just go to save and exit back to the campaigns list. Okay, so now we can see I've got a campaign, which remember that is an email that's ready to go out. Okay, next time I want to send out an email, I can just send this one if I'm ready, or if I want to send an email using a template, I go create campaign and I go regular campaign. And I'm going to send it out to everybody. You've seen all this before. And I'm going to go second demo, and I'll go you can put in a real email subject when you do this. Next. And this time I go to my templates because I've actually set up a template now. And so actually there's one that I was fiddling around with earlier. So the Christine testing template is the one that I just showed you. So I would click select on that. Don't know why this flash thing keeps coming up, but anyway, I think that's my problem. And then we're back to this editor again. So remember, this time we're actually changing the actual email that we're about to send out, not changing the template. Okay, so the template remains the same, and so you can reuse the template over and over again. But when you're actually editing the campaign, you're going to be changing what is going out in that particular email. Okay. So I'll just get out of there. And so you know what to do here. We change all these things. If we want to get rid of something, we now know that we use this. Hide this section, and then we can click on next, and we can send out the rest of the procedure is exactly the same. So I hope that helps you. Now, one thing I should have said right at the beginning, but I just thought of it, is that I'm making this, it's the 10th of November 2013. This may change in MailChimp. Okay, some of these screens will change. This is why I've resisted so long making this video, simply because MailChimp changes things all the time. MailChimp has their own help section. Okay, there's search the knowledge base. You can go in here, you can find videos and lots of help about how to use all of this. So if you're looking through this and you're saying, hang on a minute, this doesn't match what I'm seeing in MailChimp, then what you need to do is you need to go and look at MailChimp's help and then see what MailChimp tells you about it. Okay, so I hope this helps you to be able to send out some really neat newsletters. Bye.